Hey BetterSax players, today I'm going to be showing you how to do some very easy and common repairs on saxophones. These are all things you can do yourself at home. I'm going to be using this alto saxophone I bought from Amazon that I reviewed and unboxed a few weeks back. Each one of these jobs can be done in under 10 minutes, and you can use tools and materials you probably already have in your house or stuff that costs under 10 bucks. Everything I need for the 4 repairs I'm about to show you is on the table in front of me right here. Let's get to it. Metcalf here with another BetterSax video. First of all, congratulations to the 5 winners of the Instagram contest where we gave away Leger synthetic reeds. The next giveaway is coming soon. It's going to be something a little bit bigger. So make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel as well as BetterSax on Facebook and Instagram, because that's where I'll be announcing the details of the next giveaway contest. Today we're going to be doing some repairs on this alto. I've got another video coming soon where I do some different repairs on the soprano that we unboxed last week. I saw your comments. You guys really want me to get a tenor saxophone, so I went ahead and I ordered the tenor saxophone from Amazon. It's on the way. As soon as I get it, we're gonna unbox it. We're gonna do a blind test. We're gonna see how it plays. So keep an eye out for that. Before we get started, I want to let you know I'm not showing you these repair tips because I want you to stop going to your repair technician. Not at all. If you've got a repair technician near where you live that you like, take your instrument to them and let them fix your horn. They know what they're doing. However, not everyone has a repair technician local to them, and some of the things I'm about to show you are really simple. It's kind of silly not to do them yourself. Having said that, there is a risk that you can do some damage to your saxophone if you mess up, so keep that in mind. As with learning to play the saxophone, learning to repair saxophones involves making a lot of mistakes. I don't want you making your mistakes on your precious, valuable instrument. So it's always a better idea to let the repairman who's already gone through the process of making all those mistakes fix your saxophone. If you're a band director, you might find some of these tips super helpful though. If you have a neck cork that is too tight for your mouthpiece, and this is very common on brand new saxophones, it's no problem with 2 little pieces of sandpaper and a little bit of cork grease. You could fix that in a matter of minutes. We need 3 things, some cork grease, and I got 2 different grits of sandpaper, 180 and 320. So when I got this saxophone, the cork was really tight for the mouthpiece that came with it, as well as my mouthpiece. It was like I really had to crank it on there to get it. So this is a good fitting cork. It's got a good resistance, but it goes on and off with, almost effortlessly. But when it's in place, it stays there. So you want to find that exact bit of tension where it doesn't move when you don't want it to, but it does come on and off easily enough. It's really easy to get any cork on your saxophones to be like this, and I'm going to show you how to do it. This is something anybody can do. Whenever you're using sandpaper on a saxophone, you got to be really careful that it doesn't touch. If it just touches a little bit, it's gonna scratch, get through your lacquer, and you're not going to be super happy about that. First, you want to start with the rougher sandpaper, okay? And I would just cut a piece of this, kind of wrap that on there a little bit, being careful not to touch the lacquer of your saxophone. Wrap that around there and just turn back and forth. You're going to get a nice even, you could go in and out a little bit. You're going to get that smooth, and you could test with your mouthpiece. And once it starts going on there a bit easier, and you can kind of get it in and out on a dry cork, no problem, we're good. Remember, I've already done this one, but I'm just showing you what I did. Then I take the finer grain. This is 320, but you could even go finer if you want. And I do the same thing. And this will smooth it out smooth out the pores of the cork a little bit, and that'll get you an even smoother fit. Okay, so now just with no cork grease, that's going on nicely. The next step is to take your cork grease, and now that this has just been sanded down a little bit, the pores are all open, you're gonna put a nice, healthy amount of cork grease on there. And with your finger, you're gonna rub it in. And you wanna get that to really soak into that cork. And then work that in with your mouthpiece. Okay. And this has a tighter fit, this alto mouthpiece, as you can see. This is a Selmer scroll shank. You know, it's right in the middle of the road. It's not too tight, not too loose. And as you can see, I get a great fit. It doesn't move on its own, but with the right amount of pressure, it comes off easily. It's great for adjustments, but when you're playing, it's not going to be too loose. And of course, it's going to make a really good seal with the neck. You may remember when I unboxed this alto saxophone I bought on Amazon, I said it didn't have a great fit with the neck. The neck tenon didn't have a fantastic fit in the receiver part of the saxophone. So I fixed that as well. It took me a matter of seconds to fix it. So now we've got a decent fit, but it's still tight. So when I tighten up this screw, this doesn't move. Okay, so that's what you want. And you want that to come out pretty smooth and easily. So what I did is I used some sandpaper. I got this sandpaper off of Amazon. It's an assortment of fine grain sandpaper for metal work or for wood finishing work. It's, you know, you got up to like 4,000 grit. So it's super fine stuff. I'm gonna take something just in the middle with this. This is like a 1200. And first I'm gonna cut myself a piece. I'm gonna cut myself a strip a little bit wider than the tenon here. And I'm just using, this is an X-Acto knife I'm using, you could get in any hobby store or on Amazon as well. I'll link to all of this stuff, all these little tools. All of this sandpaper here cost me $8, okay? And that's like a lifetime supply for what I do. All right, so now I've got a little strip of that. I'm gonna, once again, you gotta be really careful you don't touch any of the lacquered parts of your horn. See that? I just wrapped it around the tenon. And now I'm gonna just turn. Nice and slow, get a nice even. And this should smooth out any rough spots on that tenon enough to get this to fit nicely. Now you want to be very careful to wipe that down once you've done that, so you get any little dust from that metal off. You could see here, like when this was made, it was not, they didn't do a great job. You know, you got lacquer on the tenon, you got lacquer up here, and you could also see these lines. This is when I was originally putting the tenon into the receiver and turning it, because there was rough spots, and over time this is going to get scratched more and more, and the fit is going to get worse. And if we're dealing with like a young student who might be using this, they're not as careful, and this is one of the things that can go wrong. So you want to have a good fit. If you're a teacher, this is a fix you can do. You have to be careful and go slow. Don't be in a rush. Okay, that's a decent fit. And there we have it. We tighten that up, it doesn't move, and it comes out with an easy twist. Okay, I wanted to show you one more quick and easy repair that's very common on some of these saxophones imported from China. The other day I was trying one out, and in the first few minutes of playing it out of the box, one of the key pearls popped off. It's not a big deal. I mean, they shouldn't come off. But if that happens to you, it's an easy fix. You just need a drop, literally just one drop of some super glue, and that should be on there for good. This is some Loctite super glue. You could buy it in any supermarket for a few bucks. I thought that I could just pop one of these off easily enough to show you how to do it. And I tried, and I couldn't get any of these key pearls on this Amazon saxophone to come off. So that's actually a really good sign that they're actually using enough glue to hold these things in place. But if that happens to you, quick and easy fix, nothing to worry about. Here's another quick fix you might need to do that you could easily do yourself at home. It's a common issue on all saxophones, but especially on some of these lesser expensive imported instruments from China. The key corks sometimes will fall off in the early days of playing it. Some of them are on there, they're on there okay, but the cut is not exact. There's little bits of cork hanging off the edge. Sometimes the cork is not perfectly centered on the key foot where it should be. On professional instruments, these things can come off as well. So I'm going to show you how to fix them in a pinch. It doesn't take very much. All you're going to need is a screwdriver that's going to allow you to get the key off that you're working with. Some keys are easier to get off than others. Today we're going to do a common key that is easy to get off and back on. We're going to do our D palm key. So I've got this woodwind repair screwdriver. I got this from musicmedic.com. They sell these in all different sizes. I'll put a link to this one. This is great for saxophone hinge rods. So, and as you can see, it swivels here. Got this swivel head that makes it very easy. Sometimes you might need some pliers to pull that out. There we go. Be careful that you don't lose your hinge rod while I'm here. This is a little bit loose, my spring, so I'm just tightening that up a little bit. Be careful with these horns especially. Don't over tighten these screws because you don't want to snap the head off the screw. With this alto, I haven't had any corks come off since I've had it, so I'm just going to pull this one off. You might want to use something to scrape the excess glue off. I'm going to do that here quickly with my little scraper tool. There's a couple of different ways to go about this. You can use contact cement, takes a little bit longer, or you can also use super glue, which is really fast. So you take a piece of cork. First, I'm going to cut a piece that's a little bit bigger than what I need, so that then afterwards I could trim around it. So if I'm doing the super glue method, I just take a dry piece of cork, put a dot of super glue on there, put one side flush with, see that side is flush with the key. And the other side has got the excess, so I'm only going to have to cut on one side of this cork to trim it. That's already on there and done. And now I'm just going to trim with my X-Acto knife. One cut there. One cut there. And, really in a matter of seconds, we've got a great fitting cork that's on there and it's not going to come off for a long time. When we put the key back on, wipe off the rod. You can also clean out, this is a brand new saxophone. It's not really necessary at this point, but you could take some pipe cleaners. These are just some pipe cleaners that I got at the tobacconist. Do we say tobacconist in America? No. Wherever you get your smoking products, you can get some pipe cleaners. I'll put a link in the description below. I'm sure they have these on Amazon as well. And these are great for cleaning out any excess oil or dirt that might be inside. And then you can use key oil, but for these things, I like to use standard Yamaha slide grease. Take a tiny little bit, and I took way too much. Put it on there. I put this in place. Slide that in. Tighten up the hinge rod, wipe off the extra, and now look at that. We've got a beautiful cork. That's not going anywhere for a long time. Makes a nice contact with the body. When you play that note and open that key, it feels really good. All right, that's it. Those are 4 quick repair jobs anybody can do at home for very little money. You know, when I originally unboxed this saxophone, a lot of people in the comments were telling me, oh, you know, those saxophones, they're so poorly made, you can't repair them. I gotta say, once again, going through it, this saxophone can be fixed just like any other. The build quality is not anywhere near that of a professional instrument, but it certainly is adequate, especially when you consider the price. I put a link to this saxophone in the description below. If you're on a limited budget and want to get yourself an alto saxophone, you could do a lot worse than this laid alto saxophone I bought on Amazon for around $270. If you got some value out of this video, please go ahead and click the thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, get yourself subscribed. Share this video with anyone else who may be interested. Thank you for watching, and see you again very soon in another BetterSax video.